What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mr. DIY, where today I'm going to show you how to install r-13 wall insulation in the walls in your home. Let's get started. Now, this is not a terribly large project, but I figured this would be a good one to make a video out of. We're only missing a few pieces here. They got wet from some water intrusion that caused a bunch of rot and termite damage from the moisture being attractive to the termites. So I had to throw away a few pieces when I replaced all this lumber. We're going to be just replacing the pieces that are missing. These other pieces are still good, and I'm going to show you how to cut it, staple it, and properly get it tucked in the wall. Now, when you purchase insulation for a project like this, it's going to come in a roll. This is a small project, like I said, so we only purchased one roll. This is what the roll is going to look like. It's usually pink. You buy it at Home Depot. If you buy it at Lowe's, it's called John's Mansfield or John's Mansville, Manville, whatever it is. And this is what it's going to look like. This is the plastic sheeting on it. The plastic on it helps keep the loose fibers from floating around. So I like to use this stuff because it makes itch control much better for yourself. And also, you don't want to breathe in all those fibers. Now, to easily do this, we're going to take our roll, set it up over here so we can roll it out in this large area that I have available to me. And we're going to cut with a razor blade. We're going to cut the paper here very gently because you don't want to cut into the fiberglass. And we're just going to let it roll out. Just like that. Now, once you roll it out all the way, you're going to want 2 scrap pieces of wood. I'm going to use this fence board. We're going to put 1 scrap of wood on the ground underneath our roll our roll past it. Then we're going to take a 2nd scrap of wood and we're going to throw it down on top of it. Now, this first area that we had to fill in is pretty short. You want to measure your top to bottom. Let's see, our actual measurement's 26.5. Insulation you can get away with making it a little bit bigger. Bigger's okay, you don't want it too loose, so you don't want gaps in there. So the actual is 26.5, we're gonna cut this at 27.5. Now our width is 11.5. This is meant for 2x4 walls that have 16-inch centers. So the actual gap in the middle, the actual insulation width is probably about 14.5. But we can get away with tucking in a whole piece at 14.5, so we won't have to rip it down the length. Now this is where our 2 blocks of wood are going to come in. See, our 27.5 mark is right there. I guess I should step to this side so you can read it better. So we're at 27.5 is roughly in the middle of this board. So we're going to take this second 2x4, right where it says 27.5. We're just going to put our 2nd block of wood there. So you want to take your razor knife, your utility knife. You're going to step on that first board, hold it down, and take your knife. Don't cut your tape measure. You're going to take your knife and just run it down the whole piece all the way through, and you've now cut the piece off. Now, if you look at a piece of insulation, whether it's got paper backing or it's surrounded in plastic like this stuff, it has little wings on it. If you look here, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a little wing on here. There's a wing on that side and a wing on that side. So you want to take those 2 wings, once you shove it in the spot, gently tuck this piece in. Again, you don't want to fluff it too much and get all the fire floating around. You should wear a mask for this. So if you have an N95 mask, put it on. All right, so once you tuck it in, you're going to take your stapler. I have a slap stapler. You can use a standard stapler. You want to just take that little ring, hold it up on the edge there, and staple it in. And again, take that little wing, hold it up, take your stapler, and staple it in. And make sure that those staples are countersunk. I didn't hit it very hard because you don't want them to get in the way of your sheetrock when you get to the sheetrock portion of this repair. Okay, and just like we did on the first step, we're going to measure this piece here. It's 15 inches. Let's go ahead and cut it at 16. So we've now shoved it in, and just like the one before, we're going to pull the little wings out. Make sure that they are exposed on both sides. This one's torn, so we'll have to staple it on the inside here. Thankfully, this is a tight joint. We'll also put a staple here and a staple at the top. The stapling is extremely important. You need to staple the tops of your insulation here. You cannot skip this step. If you do, then the top right here, as the summer comes and the heat shows up, this is going to slowly sink down, leaving very large gaps inside of your wall where it's not insulated. Repeating our first steps again, we're going to measure this larger top void, which, as you see, is just under 47 inches, but we'll go ahead and cut it at 48. We're at 48 inches there, lined up with our fence board. You're gonna take your knife again. I like to just mark it. Makes it easier to come back. You see I put a little rip in it so I can see. You're gonna take your board, put it back down. We're going to cut this piece as well. Use your blade, And be careful with the razor blade. They are very sharp. Don't cut your toe off. All right, then our next piece is going to be the rip piece. So let me go show you how you rip a piece. I've already measured the length. I know it's 53 inches. I'm going to take my insulation, pull it out to roughly 53 inches. And then when we get it where we want it, we're going to take our trusty utility knife again, mark it, and cut it. I also measured my width, so you're going to need a wide board like the guy that's already laying on the floor. Now to rip this piece, we're going to lay it down on its back. I already know that it is 1 inch at the bottom. I said cut it bigger, so we'll do 3 inches at the bottom. And the top I already know is basically the factory size, which is about 12 or 14 inches. So we're going to get a longer board. Okay, now that I have a longer board, you can see that I've put it at the bottom here. It's about 3 inches, and at the top it is right about the main size. So now we're going to take our razor blade, step on this board, and cut it the whole way down. Okay, the main reason I say to cut this way bigger than it needs to be, especially when you rip a piece that doesn't have the wing on one side, is because we're going to have to tuck it in a little bit. We're going to have to pinch a piece of this plastic or paper, whatever your backing is made of, and staple it here. We won't have to cut another piece to fit in one of these holes. This little guy here will come off the scrap from that piece we cut there. We're going to use the same process here to rip a piece to go here, except for it's not slanted. And then we'll use some scraps to fill in this little bitty point here, this piece at the top, and then there's this long guy all the way down the edge. We're going to fill both of those in with scraps. I broke it. I swear. Faulty tools are the most frustrating thing in the world. I hate this stapler. It is a piece of... Now our wall has been completely insulated, top to bottom. Now this is real easy to do. If you're gonna do some DIY in your house and sweat equity and you're trying to choose projects, this is one to do. Now I can close it in with sheetrock, tape and float it, and get this project put away. Don't forget to leave me a like. I greatly would appreciate it. And follow my channel. I'll have more creative things coming up. Lots of DIY projects. Again, thanks for watching. Mr. DIY out. See you guys next time. Thanks.